You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Salam. My name is Sheikh Abu Hakim Mahmoud Sharif Abdullah, President Chairman of Al Masjid Sharia Allah, AMSA, a non-profit religious organization operating in the state of Rhode Island, USA. I come to you again, talking to you again, trying to get your assistance and help. There's millions of dollars being spent trying to destroy Islam. Millions of dollars. Every time I look on the webs, on the internet, I see more money being spent, more games being played, more twisting of words. I have never seen, I've seen words being twisted, but they are spending millions of dollars to turn around, turn words around, and use them as if they, in a derogatory sense, good words in a derogatory sense. They take the very words that it tells one thing, it says one thing, and they take it and make it say another. Semantics. They turn around and we say, in the beginning, Allah gives us the right to defend ourselves. For many years, the Muslims didn't defend themselves, and people walked all over top of them. So when the last prophet, Islam, written to Medina, Allah said, let there be Sharia laws. And one of the laws that is open for you brothers and sisters at this time is that you have the right to stand up and not turn your cheek to your attacker. That you have the right to defend yourselves. You have the right to defend yourself against anyone that's trying to hurt you or your way of life. So Allah gave a bunch of people that was standing back, that was cowarding themselves, afraid to fight back, the right to defend themselves. And he said, with that defense, fight them with the weapons they fight you with, except with disbelief. Now, disbelief means this. You cannot throw fire on nobody. You cannot do the things that Allah says we can't do to each other. You cannot poison people. You cannot do this kind of stuff. You cannot kill women and children. You cannot kill old people. You cannot throw stuff into the water and try to kill people that way. You cannot burn people up. You cannot burn people up with fire and all that kind of stuff. You cannot walk down there with a fire gun and burn people up. We can't do that. Fire's the treatment that the devil got, used against the devil, the hellfire. But you're turning all that stuff around. And you don't say that before you say jihad. we're against terrorism. Terrorism is what a law says we cannot do. And terrorism is what we don't have the right to do. So we do not accept terrorism. You're trying to turn our women against us. You say the women got freedom. They got good laws and all that. They got protecting laws. That you make it disgusting and wrong, and turn the law's words around and use them as if he's taking the protection, dishonoring the women. You say the man, the woman, and the man is equal and set to one notch. And why are the men higher than the women in that one notch? Because he's the protector of them. He's the provider of funds for them. He's supposed to feed them. He's supposed to house them. He's supposed to clothe them. He's supposed to take care of them. That's what he's supposed to do. So now you take that, and you put women's lib in there, and you say, well, she got a job. They equal. Because that took away her rights to work, her rights to do stuff. No, he didn't. Didn't take away the rights. They was working for years and it's long. Then you turn around and you just make you just do this sneaky stuff, like serpents. You're like the snake in the grass. You're attacking at the ankles and around you're sneaking up on people. It's like snakes, like serpents. I've never seen people so much like serpents. Like there's nations of people that resemble the devil's tribe, and it's a shame. The stuff that we do to each other. When I was coming up as a kid, I seen black people being hung in trees, and somebody take and boil a whole thing of tar, black tar. This whole thing of black tar, and just put a man on his knees, and then turn around and dump him in the black tar, burn it. Cook his skin off of him with black tar. And take a knife and hang a woman up in a tree, a black woman in a tree, because she wanted to try to get freedom and run. And she was running, got caught running. And they turned around, she was running to save her baby. Somebody you took out of her land, somebody you took from her country, had the right to run. Or anybody that you take as a captive had the right to get away, if they can. And you take them and you take and cut the back of their heels, for they can't walk. They can't run no more. Then you turn around and hang a woman up in his wife up in a tree, hang her up there and take a knife and cut down her stomach and drop her baby in her hands. Look at the stuff that you do. I mean, look at what you do. When you came into Africa, the land of Africa, into South Africa, and you sent them thieves and stuff into South Africa, you turned around and the Watusis, no, the Zulu tribes was fighting each other. The family of the Zulus was fighting each other, and they was fighting each other with old wooden spears, 200 feet away from each other, throwing the spears at each other, and that was the war. Then the Zulu leader taught them how to kill. You see, for years they were fighting each other, but they wasn't doing nothing. But now they blowing each other up. They using bombs from Japan. They using bombs from England. They using bombs from France. They using gas from Britain, Russia, all these places, China, United States. They using all this stuff, and they killing each other day by day. Hundreds of thousands of them killing each other, chopping each other with cleavers and everything. And where they get it from? Do you know who made terrorism? The Irish Revolution. The Irish people was bombing people and blowing them up. The buses full of kids. The Christians, the Catholics was blowing up the Protestants. The Protestants were blowing up the Catholics. Back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And the enemy was England. I mean, look what was doing, what was happening. And this is the kind of stuff you're doing. And all we trying to do, other people are trying to bring Islam. You got people that's using you because they know what Islam is about. You got the Masons that know what Islam is about. You got judges know what Islam is about because they Masons. And they know what Islam is about. They know about the Quran and the Hadiths. And they know that it's not one of the poison religions. You've been trying to get and destroy the Muslims since King Arthur and them, the Crusaders. That was only to go in the Muslim countries and get the herbs and stuff out the Muslim countries. You turned around and brought the Ottoman Empire. I mean, look what you're doing. I mean, how you killing people? You call the savages in African savages. The savages in the world at that time, and for years, was Germany, France, and Poland, and all them places. They was called the savages years before the Africans even knew anything. They was called by the Greeks, by Alexander. They was called that by the Romans. The Caesars called them savages. They were savages. They was eating, they was flesh eaters and everything else. I mean, do you know who you are? Do some of you know who you are? And you're pinning all this stuff on somebody else. Do you know who's selling and buying the dope? You know who's selling the dope around the world, what they look like? They're not black. They're not brown skin. The main dope is sold by Europeans. People with white skin. You know, look at the bootleggers. They got pictures on television every night showing you how you destroying the world. You killed half the buffalo buffaloes in the world in order to starve a native bunch of people out. But you can get to the gold in the Black Mountains, the Black Hills. You took Texas from the Mexicans. Look at the truth. I'm not sitting there hating you. I'm just telling you what you done did. And what you're doing. Black people just started killing each other in the street when they got all them guns from you. Down in California. Riots in California. You had a 100-year war between in the churches, killing people, killing Christians, killing each other. Catholics killing Catholics, British killing, Protestant killing people. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's really, you can't believe what you see. This is what I'm saying. It's hard to believe what's going on. You're literally destroying people. The Germans marched over 6 million people into ovens, burned them up in ovens, showered them in a shower that was gas, acid, took them and put them in graves. The French turned around and made lampshades out of Muslims in Algiers. Was trying to make blonde babies. A European doctor made AIDS in Africa to try to eliminate the black man. That's all that was. I mean, look at you. Look what's happening. You turned around and dropped 2 bombs that destroyed 2 cities. Thousands of people in minutes died. Why? Because you wanted to show the world that you had some bombs that could take away their cities. And then what did you do? Open Pandora's box for the bomb-making, atomic bomb-making, domino effect. Everybody started making bombs. I mean, look at what you're doing. And you don't feel no shame. No shame whatsoever. I'm not saying all of you, because they got some people out there marching with black, marching with green, marching with everybody, trying to destroy it, trying to stop it. They got people out there doing that that's European. I use the phrase European instead of white and black. Oh, look, you know, you hardly can find a black man and a white man, but you got some. Everybody's brown skin, light skin, beige for the colors. Then you got people talking about the colored man. There's a colored man, is a white man. Black man don't have no mixture of colors. White man's the only one got a mixture of colors. Blue, all that stuff is in the white man's skin. Black man don't have it. Black is a neutral, positive. Positive. Black is brown, brown and blue. Mixed together, it turns out black. Everything. But you can't tell you nothing. We got an old saying used to come out. Some people think that they so dynamite that their stuff don't stink. I can't curse, I don't curse like that. But I use other words. I use other words. You got a lot of stuff going on in you. A lot of stuff. Bismillah. I'm just telling it to you. I get tired, I sit there, I sit around, I walk around. I'm a senior, I walk around. I get tired, I try to help people. I'm trying to save lives. I'm at war with everybody. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I mean, look at you. And you're walking around, you're walking around making faces and talking about, I just looked at, like I said, I looked at this election and I was very disappointed in what I seen going on. I wasn't shocked at what came out of these people's mouths, the so-called Republican Party. I wasn't shocked at that. I was not shocked at that. That's in people's blood. That's all in people's blood. I wasn't shocked at none of that. I seen them, what they was doing to Obama when they first started. I recognized what they meant when they said on the day of the inauguration, before he was even sworn in, what they said about keeping him from progressing as the President of the United States. I recognize what they meant. I recognize what drove them to that. You got McCain turned around, and for 1 minute, he turned around and said to some woman, whoa, wait. He's a United States citizen. He's American. What now? Bang. But all the stuff that he said himself before he got to that. After he gets so far, now he want to turn it off and make himself look like he's a good guy. They're all the same. They got a saying that they said, oh, you can cook me chicken, but you're not going to marry my daughter. This is the way they are. This is the way people are. And they got some black people that's just as prejudiced as they are. You got some black people, every time they open up their mouth, it's whitey this, whitey that. I'm not saying there's no black people who do that. Excuse me. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm not saying there's no black people doing that. There is. But I once said to somebody I know one time, I said, they called me a name, or they was getting ready to call me a name. And I told them, I said, if the house is on fire, you set a house on fire, and I'm jumping out the window, on the way of me jumping out the window, going down, and I call you everything but a child of God, you can't blame me. I didn't set the fire. You did. And this is what's happening. A lot of stuff that is being said or being done against so-called white powers is being done because of what the white powers did for 400 years in this country. This is what is meant when the man that was giving up $12 million to the mayor of New York after 9/11 came to give him a check. What he meant by, he said, we bring this upon ourselves. Everything that happens to us, it happens to us because of our own actions. If the black man would have read the signs upon the caves in the walls throughout Africa and Ethiopia and all them places, and followed them and recognized them of what they wise men wrote for them, they've never become slaves. Because all the bad guys has always been written on the caves and the walls as white ghosts. Think about it. As white ghosts. So, if they would have been recognizing that when the ships got on the shore in the United States and everywhere else, they would have knew what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to defend themselves unto the death. Because the same people they opened hooked like that is the same people took everything away from them that they had. Their freedom, their power, their women, their children, their food, their money, their gold, their silver, their copper, their iron, their coal, the oil, everything that they have. Just took it away from them. Took them off an island, and away from an island, and fed and gave them food stamps and a blank check. And they used it as target practice for the atomic weapons. You still can't go to the island, it's so messed up. So I think you heard enough about that. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to wake you up. See, one thing to stop you from being bad is to show you how bad you really are. You can't beat something out of people. You gotta make them so mad that sooner or later they're gonna stand up against you. You can't beat nothing out of people. You can't beat them into submission. They're only going to stay submitted as long as you got the chain on them. The minute they see an opening, they're going to break. And they're going to be fighting for belief, and you're going to be fighting for money.
Allah Whoa.